So you guys have shown me a bunch of music that you guys are very passionate about, some of them even from your own bands, and I decided to return the favor within this particular review. Now this one isn't necessarily from a band that I was involved with in any way, shape, or form. Trust me on that. But I did grow up with one of the main musicians within this band, and when they produced this album back in 2009, I was so proud of them, and I could not get over how brilliant this album was in my eyes. Now, it's going to be really hard for me to remove my rose-tinted glasses about this album, so I'll do my best to be as objective as I can. This might just turn into a giant gush fest, but either way, let's dive in. Voyagers by the Odysseys. So the Odysseys are a Canadian rock band from the late 2000s. It influenced modern rock of the time by taking influences from like that grunge era, that kind of Weezer styles that I'm not a big fan of, but they kind of gave it a wash through with progressive rock tendencies. On one hand, this is a very kind of a mixed grab bag of tracks because it's trying different things, but a lot of these tracks are also very unified in a singular sound. You can really kind of boil down these tracks into experimental progressive rock from that 70s, very singer-songwriter, very flowery, very impressionistic, and then almost straight up rock. The straight up rock songs are definitely The Thought Police and Freerider being two very good examples of this. And honestly, these are probably the two songs I like the least of them. They're very straightforward, very simple, very rockish in that sense. I don't particularly enjoy these as much as the other tracks. The other ones are very impressionistic and very almost like a scenic view of that. The biggest ones of this are like Awakened in the Rain, Lady of Waterloo, I can never pronounce this one. I can't pronounce it. Surrealist, I don't know why I can't pronounce this. Surrealist Painter. We're just going to leave it there. The Painter song, because surrealistic. For some reason, my brain and my mouth don't want to connect properly with that. And The Reaper and the Soul to a little bit of an extent, but these are very heartfelt, very mellow tracks. And then you have also like, it's like these songs, but on a flip side. And we're looking at like Placebo, The Reaper and the Soul, a little bit of like Coral Claw. Kind of same energy, but a little bit flipped in that sense. And I'll go a little bit deeper into some of these songs as well. And then we have just the straight up progressive rock stuff, and that's on Cryptocoids, Last Relayer, Octopus Man, and the Ocean Crystal. And I think I've pretty much touched each song in like categorizing wherever they go. Let me just talk about some of my favorite tracks on here and dive in a little bit more. I really love the Last Relayer. I love how this song kind of develops. It feels very much like a Genesis song from, say, Nursery Crimes. I love the interplay between the keyboards and the guitar work, and the guitar work near the end of this song is very like Gilmore-esque in that styles, and I love how emotive it is. They hold on to the notes very, very well. They don't just kind of let something go to waste as well. They kind of milk it for all it's worth. I feel like The Reaper and the Soul and Placebo are very much, again, two sides of the same coin. I love how dark these songs are, how melodramatic these songs are. And they almost have a little overtone of Muse felt within it as well, within the vocal work and within the guitar work, kind of blending those two together. I also love how Coral Claw and Octopus Man bleed seamlessly into one another. And I believe when they were first writing this, it was just Octopus Man, parts 1 and 2. And I also love Cryptocoids, and I love that blending of the keyboards utilized well within the guitar work. They're hard, but they're not like metal. Yeah, they're just like really good rock music in that sense, with that progressive rock overtone. When I remove my rose-tinted glasses, I do see some of the weaknesses. Surrealistic Painter is probably, it goes on for a little too long. It does crouch into the 7-ish minutes. It's like 7 minutes and 20 seconds. I feel like it goes on for a little too long. I think they could have scaled this song back into maybe about a 4-minute song. Even though I do like their idea of like how time is played within it. I thought that was really interesting. I also felt, like I said, Freerider and Thought Police, they're a little too sharp within this. I know some people will probably love this for that, but for me, I thought that it was a little... especially Freerider. I thought Freerider was just kind of an afterthought at that point. Ocean Crystal. Let's talk about the Ocean Crystal. This is by far my favorite track off of this. This is like King Crimson, you know, In the Court of the Crimson King, or In the Wake of Poseidon, modernized. The Mellotrons are dripping on this album. I love the story that's on this because this is a tale. Really, really love this song. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. Yeah, how it like kind of flows through the story very, very well. Nothing else, just listen to the Ocean Crystal. Love this track, but honestly, I have to say, listen to this whole thing. In the end, I love this album. I love the different facets. I also love how this album is structured, because a lot of bands would be very tempted to structure this album where all the same songs are there, and all the same songs are there, and all the same songs are there. The thing that kind of saves a lot of these slower or lesser tracks are the surrounding songs to kind of help pick them up. For that reason, it really helps the enjoyment of the overall album, because I never feel at any point that, oh man, we've been in this style for a little too long. They're always kind of on the next page for the next tracks. So in that sense, that was a very, very smart move on their part. So yeah, overall, love this album. Love, love, love this album. I recommend you have to listen to this. And I will admit, this album isn't perfect. You can definitely hear the rawness of this. This is still from a bunch of musicians that are very young, and they have a lot of room to grow, for sure. But at the end of the day, I still love this album with my whole heart. It's hard not to. And that's even with my rose-tinted glasses on and off. I still love this album with my whole heart. Definitely, you have to check this album out. Definitely. Please, please do. That's it for Voyagers from the Odysseys. What did you guys think? Have a listen to it and let me know of your own comments about this album by commenting down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you guys are definitely the best. And until next time, notes out.